What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another interview here at Total Chaos 2019. This time I have the pleasure to be together with Greg and Jake of WeWork.
Hey guys.
Guys, thanks a lot for being here. Thanks a lot for taking the time, for doing this with us. I want to start you off by saying that the conversations that we had until now, they really made me curious about your work, because I've also worked in, say, corporate architecture, corporate visualization, and I would like you guys to share a little bit your experience, first with the work that you have produced until now, and maybe the question that we could start with is, how is the work that you guys produce at WeWork different from all the other corporate kind of visualization?
I mean, that's a great question to start off with, but I think the work we create on a daily basis is different than other corporate settings, because a lot of these companies rely in-house studios to be, part of the design process, where for us, we are more of kind of like an end game team where we produce very high-end realistic images for the marketing and sales purposes, so they can use our content on that end. So we kind of don't have to necessarily get involved during the design process, and that's a very unique thing, not to have to do that every day in and out.
Did you have to kind of fight to make people understand that your role was only like marketing and that they could not use your work as kind of like creating a design loop, feedback loop?
Yeah, absolutely. I think since day one, when Jake and I started the department, we really lay down the groundwork. The We company is growing at such a rapid pace that we needed to be able to scale with the scale of the company. And working with the designers really would have held us back from progressing with the company. So we really said that, hey, from the beginning, this is not what we do, because we believe it's in the best interest of the company if we focus on this end and kind of like leave it up to you on that end. I think you can kind of...
Yeah, we were very fortunate in the beginning to come on at a time when the designs were evolving so quickly that we actually didn't fit into the process very well, and we established that we were going to come into this company and be more on the media side, more on the marketing side, more on the social media and sales side, because that's where we felt we could benefit the company the most.
So do you guys feel like you are given sort of like creative freedom to come up with your own ideas and help through the marketing process, or are you still very much dependent on the decisions that designers make?
Lucky for us, we don't start a project until the design is relatively finished, like 95% complete. That allows us to have a quicker turnaround rate, and then that gives us the opportunity to have a more in-depth conversation with the marketing and sales team. That really, that's where we get our schedule of what to do, why we do it, really the groundwork for our day-to-day process. We gain feedback from the sales teams, so moving forward, we almost kind of approach it from a product selling point of view.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's been about the brand mostly. So our work has evolved over the years because WeWork as a brand has evolved into this new thing. So a lot of the choices that we make in our images reflect what the designers are choosing in their design. So whatever we want to represent in our images has to represent the style of where the company is going as well.
I see. Okay, so let's just be a little bit provocatory here. Pros and cons of like having a job like yours.
Pros and cons.
In comparison to, say, a more traditional, say, visualization company.
The pros are easy. We have full control of our process, our standards. The artists that work day in, day out have control of the cameras they choose, the story they want to tell, the custom photography for the entourage that they incorporate. The creative control is the biggest pro. I think Jake would agree. The cons, Or maybe, maybe not having enough time to adapt when you need to adapt, because this company can so quickly make a right turn that if we set out really a lot of groundwork and standards that we worked for 6 months in doing, and then we outline that, then all of a sudden it changes so rapidly. So as much as that can be looked at as a con, that turns around and becomes a pro so easily and so quickly, because that allows us to adapt and use a different part of our brain to figure out how to best go with that direction. There really are very little amounts of cons, so if anybody wants to work for us.
You're looking for people, right? I've seen
we're looking
a couple
for
of ads.
Yeah, we're looking for the right people. We're looking to, based on Jake's direction in the last year, we've become so efficient that we've opened up a lot of room for us to grow and think in new and different and unique ways, where we're really tapping in new markets and reaching out to new departments within WeWork and saying, hey, how can we help? And then trying to figure out how we can benefit their kind of day-to-day, and then just keep trying like new things.
For you,
Any
cons?
We're
pros?
working with me, maybe?
Because you guys started together, right? If I don't mistake, you were working before together, even to join WeWork, right?
Right. We were working together in Los Angeles, and then I got a call to move back to New York, and it just was in my favor to move back to New York, to where I'm from. I thought it was a good opportunity for me to start the department, and during that transition, I was communicating with Jake, who really latched on to the idea that we together would be starting something from scratch, like completely brand new. We created everything from the ground up. Yeah.
I think the cons for me, same as Greg.
Same cons.
Let me ask you, in terms of like professional growth, what does WeWork offer you in terms like not only of perks and benefits, but also like challenges? What are the things where you say, maybe this could be good for my career, and maybe a possibility of like growing?
I think the cons that we listed before can, the longer you commit to this company, can eventually turn into a growth opportunity. So the thing that we just discussed about the cons was that we're getting constant requests from a bunch of different teams that we've never worked with before to be a part of something that we might not know how to do yet. And that can be overwhelming for a lot of people. You've been brought into this company to do a very specific role, but also understanding that it's kind of your job to be adaptable. If you look at it in a bad way, it's a con, but if you look at it as a growth opportunity, it could be a new career path.
Yes. But like a very direct answer to that as well is we have a professional development fund where we offer everybody on our team. It was a global decision for everybody has $1,000 to spend every year on anything that they want if it provides professional growth and professional development. That could be going to this conference, that could be taking a photography course, that could be getting season tickets to the New York Yankees. If you could sell to
going to the D2.
If it really means a lot to you that you think you can grow as an
You can spend your $1,000 going to the D2.
I used mine to go there last year.
Oh yeah? You guys should make the trip sometimes.
Maybe. So we have artists coming up with like, it could be woodworking classes, online tutorials for any sort of software that they want, and then they could use that as just professional growth. It doesn't have to completely relate to architectural visualization.
Yeah, I see.
It's just we're all creatives and we have that energy in us to keep learning and learning and learning, and that's what WeWork has done and offered. It's like, hey, we all know you want to experiment and try new things, so here's a yearly allowance to do that. Another pro.
There you go. Sometimes you just need to think about it and then they start popping out, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you, say somebody wants to work for you guys. What are the things that you look the most forward to receive in terms of like job applications, portfolios? What are the things that you want the perfect candidate to say to you to kind of sell you on the idea to get a job there?
I mean, honestly, it's pretty easy for me. I don't care where you went to school. That has absolutely no bearing on my decision to hire somebody. So anybody that went to a community college or didn't even go to college, or they went to Harvard or Yale, they are all treated the same in that regard. What I really look for is if they're a good cultural fit to the team. If I could immediately see, him or her working alongside Jake and Emma in London, or those teams, if they could really latch on to that energy, then honestly, from what we've said in our presentations in the masterclass and at the conference, it's really about, we've outlined so much of how to do what we do. If the work isn't absolutely perfect, like that's fine, because we could really bring you to that level within 3 to 6 to 9 months. So I really focus more on the personality and the energy that I get from the person.
I pretty much have the same answer. I think it's more sometimes about the personality of someone and their work ethic. It might not be easy to show a work ethic in a portfolio, so the images, might be okay, but once we meet with the person in person, we talk to them, we get a sense that they're going to continue to push themselves and continue to learn. That's going to be a huge selling point for us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always very surprised. I see a lot of like very talented people, and then when it comes to talk to them, because they are so talented, they kind of feel like they're special, and that reflects also in their work ethic. And I've seen myself doing the job that I do. This is a very big problem because sometimes there is no will in collaborating and cooperating. And
yeah, I mean, as far as getting into a management position and running a department, it was just me and Jake for 2 years. And then all of a sudden now we have 17, close to going to be 18 soon, and who knows what that number will be. And as a leader of this department, you really got to understand that you're dealing with 17 different personalities. They could be introverted, extroverted, they could be collaborative, they could be, working late, working early. So when we make decisions as a team, everybody's going to react differently, and I now have learned that you have to expect that, and then you have to be, receptive, but also, maintain a level of integrity and really make sure that, this is a team effort, this is a team energy. And so when we outline a lot of these things, it's for the better of the team. And I think it's important for us to kind of really push very hard to maintain that just positivity and being able to adapt, because I can very rarely tell my team what WeWork is going to do in the next 3, 6, 9 months. And some of my answers are always like, I don't know. I really don't know where we're going to go, what country we're going to go to next, whether or not we're going to have to adapt in such a way that we're not ready for. So as crazy as that sounds, it's also part of the most exciting bit of what we do.
if you were to sum up in only one word what it's like to work in your department within your company, what would that word be? And feel free to have 2 different words.
Well, one word for working...
It's a very difficult exercise.
I know, man, what the hell? Fuck.
I broke you.
Jake, you got one? You got one?
I got one, yeah. I'm gonna go with refreshing.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Okay, you're still in time. Refreshing.
Refreshing. I'd say just exciting. Honestly, it's just refreshing and exciting because it's so unique of a team and a company that we're not an in-house ArcViz, we're not a studio, we're just the WeWork visual studio. And I think that's the biggest part of coming to this conference was within the last year, we really became that team, and we're really here to pretty much not only talk about the technical expertise, but really kind of announce us as a presence in this industry. And so far, the response has been like completely overwhelming.
Guys, thanks a lot for doing this. Guys at home, thank you very much for watching
Thanks,
this
everybody.
video. I will put all the links to your work in the description. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys the next time.
See ya.